I thought obviously Friday didn't go well, but I thought Sunday was a big turning point for our team. I was really proud of the response they had. I think they were really proud of it too. I think um, they were very confident after that and felt really good about the spot they were in. So hopefully we found it and we can hang on to it and keep moving forward from here.
Jim and William, whenever y'all are ready, y'all can just go ahead.
I'm having some trouble hearing.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was following along over the weekend, and it looked like a really bad start, Beth. But obviously you found some grit and really fought through it. What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, I thought we had a lot of people that contributed as Sunday went on. It was a very long day. The girls had to get up at 6 a.m. and play at 9:30 and then play at 1. I mean, we were out there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a really long day. It was a really hard fought day. So I thought they earned everything they got. They kept consistent energy throughout the day, which was really hard to do. So it was obvious that they wanted that. They wanted the series, that they weren't going to back down. And I think they really found themselves and learned a lot about what they're capable of on Sunday.
Okay. I lost the question I had. We'll just talk a little bit about this weekend and making the trip again. And what the challenge is going to North Carolina State.
Yeah, they're a small ballpark, so and they hit a lot of home runs. So we're gonna have to try to keep them down and then swing with them. So, similar to what we saw at Missouri, I feel like a big, powerful offense with a lot of home run numbers. That it's flashy numbers that they put in front of you. That you have to kind of get over that. I think right off the bat, it's nice that we have these two teams back to back. For me, you can draw a lot of similarities from just the way they swing and the way they attack and. How much offense they produce. So I think we can draw a lot of similarities. So it's nice having them back to back.
Beth, did y'all go to play a super regional there?
At Missouri?
No, at NC State. Where was the one you went on the road?
Missouri.
No, the super?
James Madison. We played a super at Missouri in 2012. We played one at James Madison. We played one at Florida State. We were always on the road. What are you talking about?
It was James Madison. I was trying to figure out where it was. I knew it was on the East Coast. Okay. Thank you. Zoom looks great.
I moved over when I saw your name.
You said they found it. Was it the belief? Is that what they found? Like you kind of just alluded to?
I just think they found some more confidence. I think they understand kind of the mentality they need to operate in, a little more of an attacking mentality instead of just too careful, too afraid to lose, instead of going out just trying to swing big and be aggressive and plan to win. And I mean, relentless is the word we use within this program. So talk a lot about just being the attacker. Instead of just trying to always be perfect. And I think they had a good idea of what that looks like after Sunday.
Great, thank you.
Beth, have you kind of prepared the team in the sense that you will only be the second ranked team that NC State has played to this point? So I guess to them, this is a big opportunity in a non-conference environment to try to move up, enhance their ratings and power ratings and things of that nature, where your kids will be prepared to take on a huge challenge in that regard.
Yeah, that's not something we necessarily talk a lot about. The kids can read online and look at some of that stuff. They know way more than we tell them, because they've done their research too, right? But honestly, I think we just try to respect our opponents and know that we can get beat by anyone on any given day. And NC State is not any different. I mean, the way they swing the bats, and I mean, who knows what kind of wind and field conditions you're going to get. I mean, anything can really happen. So they're definitely talented enough to beat us. There's no doubt. Looking at film and watching them. I mean, they're a good team, so it's going to be a challenge playing at their place, playing them 3 times. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to approach them just like they're the best team on our schedule, just like an SEC opponent, like how we played all these other 3-game series this season.
Philosophically, do you approach it the same way? There's no pressure and for this not being a conference game, move up the conference standings. I mean, for example, would you come back and pitch, Allie, 13 innings on a game to beat NC State twice? Would you not necessarily, would you bring in somebody that's different to give a chance to find out if somebody else could get you out of a hole? I just want to philosophically how you approach it. I know you're keeping score and they all count, but how would you approach to personnel?
Yeah, I think more like the second thing you said. I mean, every game is important, and I think the game you're in is the most important one on your schedule. So especially this point in the year, I think we'll do whatever it takes to win. And if that requires somebody, the thing to remember too is our pitchers aren't overthrown. I mean, Allie went in the weekend with having like 60 innings pitched. I mean, we're looking at kids around the country that have upwards of 150 innings on their arms. So our kids aren't overthrown at this point, and they're not going to be, just with the way this staff is and how the staff is functioning. So I truly think we'll do whatever it takes to win the game we're in. And if that's the same person gets hot, who knows who it could be this weekend? If it's Shelby Sinceri just as easily as it could be Allie or Wickersham. I mean, I think we'll do what it takes to win, understanding that I think our greatest thing we have going for this team right now is our RPI. So I think even more than a conference standing or anything else, our RPI is what we have to hang our hat on. So we need to go out and try to keep that intact every time we take the field.
So no more or less any experimentation this weekend. Would you want to try different, kids in different spots? The lineup will change again because you don't have that pressure to win a conference series this week.
I would say no. I would say these games are equally as important as anything we have left on the rest of our schedule. Maybe more important for some reasons. To me, these are games that we need to go out and just keep building on and just keep trying to accomplish a lot of things that we're trying to accomplish. So we're going to play every single game to win, no matter what happened in the game before.
With the predetermined sites coming out in a couple of weeks, where are y'all in the administration on that in terms of trying to put a competitive bid in?
Yeah, we've submitted, or what's the date say? Yeah, we have submitted. So.
And just how important, I mean, you could, if you don't host, I mean, you could get sent who knows where, and just obviously be in your best interest to hopefully have, that young team at home, possibly in the regionals.
I mean, it's always nice to host. I think our program's also not afraid to go on the road, like what we just mentioned. I mean, we've gotten to the College World Series both ways. We've played at home, we've been on the road. So a lot of it's the luck of the draw. A lot of it's what shape your team is in at the end of the year. But playing at home is definitely a luxury. It is something that's nice. It's something we strive for all the time. It's a big reason why we take every game why we make every game so important, why every midweek is important, because I know that they look at those wins and losses, or especially losses of teams over 150 and RPI. Those things really hurt you down the road. So keeping your schedule and your team sheet as pretty as possible and as strong as possible is a big deal in hosting. I think there have been teams that have had hiccups like that have cost them the opportunity to be at home. So it's all important. This week, we are the #1 strength of schedule in the country. So I mean, we have that going for us, and I don't see that as changing with, Arkansas left and Auburn left, Kentucky left. Like, I think that's how we finish, and I think that means something. I don't know if everyone always takes into account the mentality that goes into playing the #1 strength of schedule. Like, you wake up and you're playing number 18, you wake up and you're playing number 11, you wake up and you're playing, so I think that takes a toll on your team, and I think our team's battled through it. So I hope that will be viewed very favorably, and we'll continue to make it known that we're proud of what we've done and the schedule that we've played.
You had mentioned the RPI a moment ago. Is that similarly in the top 10 or something?
We are sitting at 5 this week.
Yeah.
We had been at 4, and I think we have an opportunity to be back there, depending on how things play out, just solely based on the strength of our opponents that remain on our schedule, as well as the person that's in front of us and their opponents. So the math works out that we have some opportunities there, and we have a really strong resume, I believe, to continue in that spot. Obviously, we have to play good softball. That's all we can control. We can't control anything else, but I think we have some really big opportunities. If that number is something that's valued this year, we really don't know.
Yeah. Is that something that you set out to do, was create a tough schedule, or did it just kind of fall that way?
I did set out to create a tougher schedule than last year. Some things with COVID, I did not set out to create the number one strength of schedule. Some things with COVID happened that made it more than was initially anticipated. Gardner-Webb getting COVID. We got Alabama twice. 2 teams dropped out of the weekend with Texas. We ended up in a 3-game series with Texas. There were a lot of things. Someone dropped out of the weekend with Oklahoma State. We ended up playing them multiple times. There were a lot of things that happened that contributed. However, I did set out to make sure it was stronger than last year's schedule. I thought if 2020 would have played out, our strength of schedule may have hindered us. And I didn't want that to be the case. I think our kids come to LSU to be challenged, and they want to play against the best. So we're always looking to find the best opponent for them. And we've obviously done it this year.
As I stare out my window here, I think about the mic and just how important it's probably been for you this year. I mean, is that something that you're noticing every day, like just with the wacky weather we're having?
Yeah, we are so fortunate to have the facilities that we have. I mean, we were just talking today how we're going to take defense, and normally we wouldn't have gotten any defense in this entire week. So we were actually just mentioning how fortunate we are to have the facilities that we do have. We are definitely lucky to be at LSU.